You know, folks, I'm sure some of you are wondering what we do to pass the time when we're out here, because it's hours and hours of sometimes just glass and sometimes talking shop. Well, today, Michael and I were trying to figure out, and I got to give you some background. So, my grandmother thought that Wrasslin was real, or at least she thought it was close enough to real that she shut down shop every Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock. All-Star Wrasslin, the AWA, would come on TV in northern Minnesota. You better shut up, because Grandma's watching Wrasslin. So I got to talking about that, and Michael thought it was funny. Michael still can't believe that I know so much about Wrasslin. Well, my grandma, you didn't have any choice but to know a lot about Wrasslin. This will help answer the mystery. A lot of people say, Randy, you grew up in northern Minnesota. How did Minnesota elect Jesse Ventura as governor, a professional wrestler? Well, folks, think about it. Probably half the people in Minnesota think Wrasslin is real. You couldn't come from a better background to be elected governor in Minnesota than to be a wrestler. She thought when I grew up, she was hoping I would be Mean Gene Okerlund, the announcer in Wrasslin. I used to sit there and practice like Mean Gene when I was a kid. But with Grandma, yeah, I mean, you just shut up and sit down so that she could scream and yell at the TV. She'd burn through at least 1 pack, maybe 2 packs of Pall Mall snow filter cigarettes in the time it took for Vern Gagne to beat up on dirty, dusty roads or something like that. And you just had to shut up, because here was the schedule on Saturday. You go and you fish in the morning and you do whatever, you do your chores, and then you come in. She was gonna have that tater tot hot dish, was gonna be cooked, we're gonna eat, and everything, kitchen's gonna be clean by 5 o'clock. Because at 5 o'clock when wrestling came on, that was it. Nothing was happening until it was over. So, I was telling Michael that story, and I said, you know, Michael, a big dude like you, strong young guy, you need a Wrasslin handle. What's a name for Michael Parente? Like Michael Hacksaw Parente, or Michael the Crippler Parente. Michael's from Ohio, and there was a guy named from Cleveland, Ohio, Kenny Sodbuster J. So maybe the audience has a name for you, but then Michael and I got to talking, well, what about Dan Wildy, our new guy? Or what about Marcus Hockett? What would their names be? And we came up with one for Dan. There was a guy named Dangerous Danny Spivey. He got thrown in jail because in Puerto Rico, in the locker room one time, he stabbed the missing link and killed him. But we were thinking Dangerous Danny Wildy. When he's out there hunting, man, he's dangerous. So that would be a good one there. We can't think of one for Marcus. We're kind of at a loss for that one. But Marcus is from Montana. Marcus is from Dillon, Montana. Just north of there is Butte, just up I-15. There was a guy named George Scrap Iron Gadaski. Maybe we need Marcus Scrap Iron Hockett.
That one makes sense.
Scrap Iron.
It totally fits him.
There we go. Take Marcus's out. You don't need one for Marcus. We got him fixed. All right, Marcus Scrap Iron. We'll just call him Scrap Iron. Hey, Scrap Iron, get this shot, Scrap Iron. So anyhow, if you guys have good ideas for Wrasslin names for Michael Parente, Marcus Hockett, and if you got a better one for Dan Wildy than Dangerous Danny Wildy, we'll take it. So leave your comments below. And we should do a poll. Is Wrasslin real? And we'll know how old you are. Most people who think Wrasslin is real are either really young or like my grandma. Those are the things that pass our time while we're out here doing nothing.